Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I am talking today about the full moon that is coming up on August the 1st. So that's kind of cool. We're starting off August with a full moon, a completion. This energy is going to be a little bit less intense than the energies that we've been having for sure. And there's also like a slowing down with this energy, but I made quite a bit of notes because it's not just the full moon, of course, that we have going on. There's other planets and how those planets are interacting with the full moon and with the sun in Leo right now are also quite interesting. So there's a lot of different themes that are going on right now that I noticed. And it's funny because I just finished talking to a client and the themes were coming up in his life as well. And so the things we were chatting about were all the things that he's actually like moving through. So his life was like a beautiful piece of evidence of how this energy is already playing out. Yeah, it was very, very interesting. So let's talk about the full moon being in the sign of Aquarius. It is at 9 degrees of Aquarius, and the sun is also at 9 degrees right across from the moon in the sign of Leo, right? So because we're in the sign of Leo right now. So what does the sun and the moon across from each other, both sitting at 9 degrees, mean? What does this mean? It is activating what you are meant to understand about the collective energy right now and the collective frequency. So this is collective as in like all of humanity, and how the frequency of humanity is right now, or where it's at, and about how your energy affects the collective energy and how it fits in with the collective. So I mentioned like the puzzle piece thing to this client because that's exactly how I see this energy. So it's like we are all at this choice point of figuring out how our energy fits in to the collective's energy. What piece of the puzzle am I when I look at the grand puzzle of humanity, and where do I fit in, and how do I show up, and how do I participate in the collective frequency? So this has been a lot about like checking in with your own energy and your mood and like how you generally feel, and sorting out within yourself, like, am I feeling like I'm in high frequency? Am I feeling like I'm in a good space in my heart, in my mind? Or do I feel low vibe? Do I feel depressed, sad? Like, what energy are you pumping out of yourself at this time? There is an awareness that the stars are asking us to pay attention to when it comes to that. So this energy is also about who you are, where you are going in your life, and what you want for your future. So there's a lot of future projection energy that I've been feeling personally as well. And like I said, I'm seeing it playing out in my clients' lives as well, in the aspect of like work and relationships and so many different areas. Actually, I'm going to say pretty well all areas of our life is affected by this full moon. And it's really asking us to look at, where are you heading? Where are you going? What is your plan for the future? Do you have a plan for the future? Do you have a roadmap? Do you have some kind of a path to follow when it comes to building your future, when it comes to creating your future? That's so much of what this energy is asking us. And it's pretty important actually when you think about it, because August is like the last month before September, right? September usually is like almost a reset for a lot of people. As the season changes, it also resets us in a way. So, kids go back to school, a lot of people go back to work, vacation times are kind of like over or wrapping up around September. So this last month of August is asking us to slow down and to really look at our future goals and like where we want to head, and have clarity around that before we move into 2023. So as we move into this fall season, we have this time right now to really sort this out within ourselves, because 2024 is going to be a very different energy. It's going to have some different aspects, a lot of different planetary things going on next year. So, and they're going to be hitting us differently. So it's really important to kind of sort yourself out right now and have like 1 year goal, have like 3, 5, and beyond that, even long-term goals. Long-term goals are very much affected actually with a lot of the alignments right now. So we're being asked to look at that. Now, the sun in Leo connects us to our heart, while the moon in Aquarius is asking us to express that to the outer world. This again ties in with our future. So the expression of it needs to happen. So it's not enough just to plan your future and like figure things out and like all that stuff, but it's like, what action steps are you also going to take to make it happen? How can you express that to the outer world? And how can your future goals and your future plans be kind of, it's not about like telling everybody your business or what your plans are and what your goals are. It's just more about how are you going to, what are those goals, being specific about it, because those goals also have to connect to serving humanity. So it's like, do you have specific goals in terms of how you want to show up and serve? Remember, I talked about collective energy, how your energy fits in. You are the puzzle piece. So this theme right now is all about sorting it out. Where do I fit in? And how can I bring my gifts, my talents, my abilities to the world and shine it and show it and display it? So definitely outward expression needs to happen. And because the sun is in Leo, and because we just had Venus going retrograde into Leo, there's a lot of heart energy here. So I'm feeling a huge like heart expansion, heart opening happening at this time. And we're really, really, really being asked to go into our heart space and really sort it out within ourselves. What is our heart's true desire? What do we genuinely want to accomplish? And how do we want to feel, doing what we do in life? And how do we want to feel in our relationships? And is there balance in those areas? So the North Node in Aries, let's talk about that for a moment, because that also influences this full moon, of course. The North Node that just moved into Aries from the sign of Taurus is basically good timing. So it brings in this like really, really good timing with this, because it softens the North Node in Aries a little bit. I find all this Leo and this heart energy is softening us into North Node in Aries. So North Node in Aries is about like you, the self, and like how you show up in the world, right? And Leo is helping to soften the whole, don't be too selfish, don't be too wrapped up in like your own stuff only and like your own feelings only and all of that stuff. Like it's important to express at this time and to reveal at this time. That's what this full moon is talking about a lot too. There's a release that needs to happen, of course, with every full moon. But so it's a really, really good timing actually that the North Node moved into Aries around or just before Leo season, because it really softens that sort of selfish energy, that shadow aspect of Aries that I know I personally was feeling last week, and many people were feeling last week. So, and I noticed this week it really shifted, it really transitioned. So it softened a lot, and I felt myself really come back into my heart space, and not that selfish energy, just left. It just kind of moved through me and it left. So, which is wonderful. So yeah, so feeling more balanced and less selfish is what all this Leo energy is also bringing us. What new dreams, excuse me, what new dreams do you have for your life at this time? This is, again, Leo, connect to the heart, asking you, what new dreams, what kind of future vision do you have for yourself at this time? Reflect and write them out while this heart-opening duo is activating us. So while we have all this energy in Leo, and while we have this new moon in Aquarius, the two polarities are really, really helping us to sort these things out right now. And I'll talk about Aquarius actually right now. So Aquarius is a sign that brings exciting, unexpected outcomes as we are more open to considering crazy out there ideas. So Aquarius is all about the crazy. It's all about the exciting. It's all about the unexpected. And a lot of that kind of energy is going to be present with this full moon, because the full moon is in the sign of Aquarius. The full moon also representing completions is like, there's like an ending happening. I'm picking up on like this ending energy. And as this ending energy comes with it, this new beginning, this unexpected, exciting new beginning also gets to start simultaneously. So that is kind of cool. And Aquarius is also activating our creative energy. So Are you feeling a little bit more inclined right now to be creative, to do things that are more artistic and creative in nature? And this could be anything, right? This could be cooking. It could be putting something together. It could be refinishing furniture. It could really, truly be like whatever you want it to be. I got my little 50s thing going on right now. I love it. So what kind of creative energy can you like bring out of yourself? Can you activate at this time within yourself? And how can you bring that forward? How can you show it to the world? How can you bring, again, gifts, talents, and abilities to the world where others can also benefit from that? Jupiter squares the sun and the moon. So with this full moon happening, Jupiter's position is squaring it. So that looks like an L, like that, in the chart. So this means that Jupiter is expanding energy, asking us to go big. So when it comes to your creative projects, and I'm going to be talking to some of the artists here, what kind of projects have you perhaps put to the side that you have ignored, that you didn't have the confidence to finish or didn't have the time or whatever to finish? Can you pull that back out? Because this expansion that Jupiter brings in is like go big or go home kind of energy. Like it really is wanting us to be very brave at this time and to really be willing to express that creativity that we have within ourselves. So it's not a time to play it small. It's a time to put yourself out there, use your creativity to build something new and make it real. Because this is also about tangibility. So these energies in Jupiter wants us to make things tangible. It's not just ideas in the mind or thoughts or creativity in the mind, but you're not physically manifesting that creativity. There needs to be a physical manifestation of it. So make it real. Now, Saturn also comes in here affecting this full moon or during this full moon. Saturn is retrograde in Pisces at this time, which is showing us what is completing, what we feel done with. And it's asking us to check on our commitments for the long term. How long do you want this? Where is this going? And this is fill in the blank for yourself. So look at your commitments at this time. What are the things, the people, the jobs, whatever that you are committed to at this time? And how is that going? How is that commitment going? Does it still feel balanced? Does it still feel healthy? Where is it going? That's the question to ask yourself here. And how long do you want that commitment to keep going? Do you want some kind of a long-term commitment, or are you looking for something more temporary? That would be another thing to ask yourself when it comes to commitments. Now, Mercury is opposing the Saturn retrograde, which is making us feel like, I don't know where this is going. I don't know where it's going to go. And then going back to, that unexpected energy that ties in here with all of this. So Mercury is kind of making us feel, now Mercury won't be here for very long, but it's going to make us feel a little bit stuck, stagnant, exhausted, defeated, depressed, and even overwhelmed. So if you're feeling any of those feelings right now, I think this is probably going to last for about 3 days. That's just because of how Mercury is opposing the Saturn retrograde. That's what's causing these feelings within us. So the whole I don't know where things are going are going to dissipate and you will have clarity. I'll talk a little bit later about like knowingness and stuff like that. So we will have clarity, but there could be, for the next few days, you're just feeling a little bit confused or if the energy of exhaustion is coming up for you and you're feeling it very strongly, or like I said, this feeling of being defeated or just depressed, overwhelmed. Mental fatigue actually is another one that could be very, very prominent right now for a lot of us. And for that, I'm going to suggest the grounding, of course, barefoot, outside, very simple. Breath work. Make sure you're outside for at least 30 minutes too, a day. Breath work is also going to help you with this, and meditation is going to help you with this. So if you're feeling like you're just mentally exhausted, you're constantly overthinking, then you really, really need to make sure you're grounding during this full moon, the days leading up to the full moon. Like I would say this entire week, pay attention to that. And it's like, can you tune in and just check in with yourself and see where you're at? And when you feel low and when you feel out of sorts and when you don't feel like yourself, can you just pause in that moment and ask yourself, what do I need right now? Right now in this moment, what do I need? Do I just need like a little bit of silence? Do I just need to turn off my brain? Do I need to maybe put on some soft music that'll just relax my brain waves? Do I need to go outside and connect with nature? Maybe go for a walk, maybe go for a hike, maybe go for a swim. Like, ask yourself what you need. Get into the habit of checking in with yourself more regularly and asking yourself what your needs are. And it's about, remember, we're in Leo, so it's like, what are the needs of your heart? What are the needs of your soul? What are the needs of your physical body? And how are you meeting those needs? Are you meeting those needs? Are you tapping in? Are you listening? Can you hear it? Because all of these things are, if you're feeling the mental confusion, if you're feeling the mental exhaustion, then that's what needs to happen, is you just need to stop. You need to pause. You need to give yourself a little bit of time to like regulate your nervous system and bring it back into balance and harmony. And we do that through these activities that we do in nature. Why do you think you feel so good after a swim? Because it's like it washes away all the garbage, right? It refreshes you. It refreshes your entire energy. Same with grounding. It really, really helps to stabilize our energy. It stabilizes our heart, our mind. It helps to pull the energy back down out of the head and down into our feet. And that's what regulates us. That's what makes us feel level again. So keep these things in mind, guys, and just use nature to your advantage to really, really bring yourself back in harmony every time that you feel out of harmony or out of balance. Mercury is in the sign of Virgo right now, and Mercury is not retrograde, so it's moving forward right now. It will be coming up retrograde, but not yet. I think later in September, end of August 23rd, end of August, yeah. So Mercury right now is direct. It is moving forward. It is in the sign of Virgo. And in the sign of Virgo, Mercury becomes the problem solver. So it's also the analyzer. And because Mercury, which connects so much with communication and with the mind and different things, this is all about like making sure that you're not over analyzing. So remember what I just said about mental fatigue. If you're experiencing mental fatigue, it's because you're over analyzing. So you're overthinking something, and it's, again, we're in Leo season. Fourth reminder, we're in Leo season, and Mercury is creating this energy so that we can actually become aware that I can choose to go into my heart space instead of getting so caught up in my thoughts and being so stuck in my head. So the Leo is asking us to get back into heart, reconnect with your heart instead of over processing and overthinking in your head, and tune into that heart energy. Allow your heart to guide you at this time. So I'm going to say here, this isn't like a mind over matter. This is a heart over matter, or a heart over the mind. That's the type of energy that I'm feeling. It's like we all just need to get out of our heads and like into our hearts and like stop fucking around. Okay. Uranus jumps into the mix with all of this simultaneously and says to us, there are other ways to create. So remember, there's a ton of creative energy that is peaking right now. And take a look at how are you creating. And remember, I talked about future. So how are you creating future for yourself at this time? Have you been trying to, or have you been creating with tension or out of desperation? And that's very interesting, because I just had this kind of like realization yesterday that it was like a message I received from Spirit to like let go of any desperation. Anything that you want to bring into your life and manifest, and you want to manifest quickly, needs to come from a place of love and from heart space, from balanced heart space. It can't come from desperation, because desperation connects to lack. And if you're in lack, then guess what? You can't have the thing that you want, because you're only focusing on the lack of having the thing that you want. So how do you get out of desperate energy? You get back into heart space. It's the easiest way. So Uranus helps us to see how we've been trying to create and how that may not be working. So ask yourself, what am I trying to create, and how I'm going about it? Is that working for me? Is it bringing this creation about or not? There are also a ton of cosmic downloads incoming with Uranus in the mix right now. Uranus is all about the cosmic downloads. So Uranus is asking us to slow down and take in these cosmic downloads. And I felt that. I felt that yesterday, the day before, of like just this. It was almost like the energy was really, really fast. And then it just started to slow down. It started to kind of gradually slow down. And through August, actually, you guys are going to feel the energy kind of, it's still quite quick right now because we're still in July, and even in like the first week of August, really the full moon is sort of the splitter. That's where things really start to slow down a little bit. So the energy will definitely start kind of regulating and relaxing as we move through August, which is wonderful because I think we're all always moving too fast. So this slowing down is also giving us this opportunity to take in these cosmic downloads, to be able to hear them, to be able to interpret them and integrate them. But the only way that you can do that is by tuning in, because cosmic downloads aren't like, there needs to be a level of awareness. There needs to be a level of paying attention to them with intention so that you can actually pick up on it. So it's also about allowing these downloads to shift us. So it's staying open, because the downloads that you're going to be getting, I think, are going to be pertaining to your creativity. They're going to be pertaining to our future. They're going to be connecting to how we move about creating this future. Remember, Uranus wants us to look at new ways of creating things and manifesting things for ourselves. So it's like something needs to change when it comes to that. So staying open, being flexible, relaxed, joyful will really, really allow this. It will allow these downloads to come in for you. You're going to be able to pick up on them easier. The more joyful, the more relaxed I am, I notice, the more I just get in alignment with my flow, and the more that I'm able to move through, energies in a much easier way. Like, I'm really learning to relax. I'm really learning to allow the universe to guide me, to flow my life in, downstream, not me trying to paddle upstream constantly and going against the grain. So pay attention in your own life. Do you feel like you're swimming upstream and you're like going against the current? Or are you feeling like, you're good, you're relaxed, you're joyful, you're excited for your future, you have a plan, you have some things figured out. And even if you don't have all of it figured out, there's just like this knowing within you that everything is going to be fine. Our attitude really determines our every single day experience. And I find it's so important now to tune into that, pay attention to that, because what kind of an attitude I have, and right off the bat in the morning, as soon as I wake up, I really start to intentionally focus on having a really good attitude. And I always say, today is going to be a great day. And I try to start my mornings off like that. And I don't try, I do. Every single day I get up with gratitude. Thank you for another beautiful day. And just really, I really try to stay in that flow. Of course, things will pull me out of the flow, but I feel things are pulling me out less and less. The more I relax, the more joyful that I am, and the more that I am trusting the divine plan for me, the more I'm tuning into the divine plan, the more I'm being shown the way, the more I'm being guided to the right and specific actions that I need to take to move me forward. And my life just seems to be unfolding with more and more ease. So it matters, really, really matters. Pay attention to ideas, inspirations, especially if there's anything repetitive. If there's a lot of like the same idea keeps coming up, or you keep getting the same feeling like over and over and over about, a particular action you should take or a particular thing that you should do, then listen to those ideas, maybe write them down for yourself and work with it so that it can support you in some kind of way. Because repetitive ideas are usually spirit's way of saying like, hey, like, hello, I'm giving you this idea here. Like, are you going to act on this? Are you going to do something about it or what? Like, hello. And spirit's going to keep knocking until you answer the fucking door. Like, it just does. And you can choose not to answer for the rest of your life. That's a choice. Or you can choose to say, oh, this has been like coming up over and over. Let me just pause and like tune in and see what this idea is all about, or what's trying to come through here for me. What should I be paying attention to? Because spirit will keep knocking. So, and spirit is trying to show you something for your future self. So certain ideas actually that we're having right now are ideas that are coming from our future selves, and spirit already knows what your entire life is going to be like all about. So spirit already has access to your future and knows how your future is going to play out. So it's giving you little tidbits of like, hey, do this because I know where it's going to lead you and I know that you're supposed to go there. Right? So this is what I'm saying. Pay attention to ideas, especially repetitive ones. Look at your daily routines as well. Right down to like hourly, like what am I doing every day? Routine is something that consistently comes up for me, that I'm learning to actually go more with the flow now and trusting my own energy to guide my routines versus my mind, because my mind wants to OCD my routine and wants to be like, okay, at this time, this is what you're doing. And then at this time, this is what you're doing. And I find that gives me a ton of anxiety. Because it's too much pressure. So try to go with your own flow when it comes to creating daily routines, but take a look at your daily routines and try to assess how much time you spend on certain activities. Also, what do you spend the most time on? So what do you spend the most time doing right now throughout your day? Does that make you happy? Does it feel balanced? What needs to change to bring more balance, perhaps, or more harmony, more joy into your daily life or into your daily routine? If you feel like it's all work and no play, that's not balance. If it's all play and no work, that's not balance. If there's no self-care throughout your day or in your daily schedule, that's not balanced. So just take a look at that and see where you can adjust. So can you see, and do you want to see the bigger picture? That's what Uranus is also asking us here. And what's calling to you? What is calling you at this time? If you tune in again, and if you just listen to your own heart, it will tell you what it's calling in, or what it's trying to call in, or what it wants to call in. Now, third eye is also very much coming online with this full moon. So it is going to be bringing us a sense of clarity, a sense of knowingness. And also so Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn at this time. And Pluto retrograde in Capricorn is squaring the North Node in Aries. And the North Node, what that means is that it's creating this evolutionary pressure for all of us to trust, to follow what we want, with commitments, with obligations, with things that you need to take care of. So yeah, so there's definitely like a pressure there for us to kind of figure that out. Like, what do you want out of your commitments? And also thinking about long-term here. Remember I talked about long-term, short-term, that kind of stuff earlier. So with commitments and obligations and the things that you need to take care of. Now, Venus retrograde in Leo, which is also affecting this full moon big time, means that she's renewing the relationship with herself. So Venus retrograde in Leo is bringing this beautiful, harmonious energy back into ourselves, back into our heart space, and is really helping us to balance out within ourselves, which is wonderful, because once we balance out within ourselves, that means we are also going to be balanced out in relationships and in connections. So Venus retrograde in Leo is really supporting that right now, which is wonderful. And I mentioned in a previous video that there's like a ton of relationship energy here for us right now. So in all of like Leo season, Leo is like heart season, right? So basically from the end of July to the end of August, there's going to be massive, massive shifts in relationships, in connections, in commitments. And like I said, some of those shifts before, I mentioned that some of these shifts are going to be endings for people. So this full moon may end certain relationships for some people, relationships that just haven't been working, that have not been built on authenticity. And then it's going to also allow for new relationships to start that are actually based in authenticity and in love and in real, true love. So that's awesome. We need more of that. So it's a very grounding and quiet full moon technically. And I know I talked about a lot of different things. There's a little bit of like disjointed energy, I feel, because there's like so many different aspects that I talked about, and they all kind of represent different things, but they all also mesh together very well and support each other and bring sort of one collective message as well with all these different aspects. Yeah, so a lot of the full moon influence is on the psyche and our inner world. So there's definitely some inner work that needs to be done. Like I said, focusing on your heart space will be very helpful at this time. And coming up in August, we're also going to have a second full moon at the end of August. So this month is a little bit special. August is special because we have 2 full moons, which we don't typically have in a month. And August will be more about slowing down. Remember, I mentioned that earlier. So it's more about slowing down, focusing on making internal changes for the better, and learning to live in more flow energy. So this is about losing your sense of urgency, lose your sense of desperation, relax, allow yourself to really like go into this space of trust and of knowing that everything is always working out for you. And instead, tune into your heart and what your heart is saying and follow through to see where it takes you. So following through on our heart's desires in August, I think is going to yield absolutely tremendous results. And I know me personally, I'm already doing that. And I'm already committed to, focusing on different passion projects for myself that really, really excite me and really put me into my heart space, actually. And it feels really good. It feels very natural. So this is a really great time to do that kind of stuff. And just as a reminder, the Aquarius sign is that the full moon is in, it brings in exciting and unexpected outcomes. So keep that in mind. And this is exciting and unexpected outcomes when it comes to our heart space, when we can tune into what the heart needs, take action and follow through on providing the heart what it needs and nurturing ourselves that way. There's a lot of unexpected and very beautiful supportive energies that are going to yield, I think, some very surprising and positive results for us. So you can never go wrong. When you're in your heart space, you can't go wrong because that's so connected to spirit. It feels good innately to do that. And when you really follow through, that's the feeling I get, like this, like just elation and just, yes, that felt so good. And I feel relieved and I feel better. So that's the kind of energy that this full moon is bringing us. It is these are the different things that it's asking us to pay attention to. I hope you took some notes. The second full moon in August is going to be in the sign of Pisces, emotional, watery, spicy Pisces, maybe. But yeah, it's going to be another interesting energy to look forward to. So let's start off this month right, this coming month, and you can start by going into heart space now already, tuning into your own flow, and just really be willing to open and expand and allow yourself to follow through on your heart's desires. So that is the message for this full moon. I hope this was helpful. I hope some of it resonates. I think it will resonate with quite a few of us because I've already been feeling some of these energies before they even show up. So here we go. Let's get into August with a healthy, happy, open heart. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit a like and subscribe on your way out if you want to join this awesome community, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.